One of the Disney Plus like MCU shows that has always been like rumored, or at the very least people have like wanted to see it, is Nova. And I'm somebody that's not really all that familiar with Nova. Like, I'm mostly familiar with the version of the character that appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man, with the one and only Drake Bell voicing Peter Parker. Uh, and yeah, I've always been like, I don't know, like, is this guy like normally a child, or is he usually an adult? Is he like actually like associated with like the Nova police from Guardians of the Galaxy? Um, but I'm gonna find out pretty soon, because they are in fact making a Nova Corps show, not a movie. Show. I was about to say movie. That was gonna be wrong. It's a show. It says here on our Deadline is reporting Ed Bernero boards Marvel's Nova series and works as showrunner. There has been a major development on Marvel's Nova in the works for Disney Plus. Former Criminal Minds showrunner Ed Bernero has come on board as a writer and showrunner on the series project, which centers on Richard Rider, aka Nova. I should probably let's see. Let me look up what this character looks like. Nova. Okay, I should probably add Marvel to it. Yeah, so this is what the character looks like. I mostly know this version. He was like a teenager. All right. Bernero replaces Moon Knight scribe Sabir Pirzada, who was originally tapped as writer when the project was first put into development 2.5 years ago. At the time, it was unclear whether it would be developed as a feature film or a limited series. Nova has since taken a series direction. See, this is giving some context for the character. Nova first appeared in a 1976 issue of Super Adventures, was a member of the intergalactic police force known as the Nova Corps. Okay, so he, at least in the comics, he was actually a part of the Nova Corps from Guardians of the Galaxy, for which he gained superhuman abilities, including enhanced strength, flight, and resistance to injury. While the character didn't have many run-ins with some of the main figures of the current or past MCU, he did have some battles with the Skrulls, who have big parts in recent and upcoming Marvel projects, including Captain Marvel and the limited series Secret Invasion. That's interesting. Wait, is this news as well? They're saying here that the Skrulls are going to have big parts in upcoming Marvel projects? Do we know that to be the case, or is that also news? Breaking news! Useless Live exclusive. The Skrulls are going to maybe appear in future things. That might be Deadline adding in a weird line. I don't actually. I'm honestly not sure. All right. Bernero served as executive producer and showrunner of CBS's drama series Criminal Minds, and also co-created and executive produced Criminal Minds spin-off Suspect Behavior. There was a Criminal Minds spin-off? What? Suspect Behavior. Well, why? You know what? We can't keep making these like police procedural cinematic universes, okay? Okay, what is it, like NCIS LA or something? This is too far. Okay, they're going too far. Cannot have this. Which aired for one season on CBS. Prior to Criminal Minds, he co-created and executive produced NBC's Third Watch. He also created and executive produced crime drama series Crossing Lines. Bernero is repped by Brillstein Entertainment Partners, Butchwald and Jansen, Jacobs and Teller. Okay, so interesting. I think the main thing that to note about this is just the fact that it's gonna have a showrunner, guys. Like, For people that don't know, this actually is like a major change that Marvel has done in making their TV shows. It used to be the case that they just wouldn't have a showrunner and they wouldn't have a series Bible or anything like that. They also wouldn't make pilots. They would just be like, we're making a show. And then they would just make a show. And we don't need a showrunner. It would always be like film executives that would do like the show running on the old shows. And, the reality is that a lot of the old Disney Plus shows just felt incredibly disjointed, right? I think like one of the best examples of this is Miss Marvel, where it's like the first two episodes felt like a actually really cool, like Edgar Wright almost kind of movie. Then they completely lose that style for the rest of the show. And then like in the middle of the show, they go to like Pakistan and it feels like a completely different show. Then in the last episode, they come back to New Jersey and it's like, oh yeah, I guess we're back here now. And like, don't get me wrong, I liked Miss Marvel and I love Aman Vellani as Kamala Khan. I think, hot take, I think she's the best casting in the MCU since Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. But yeah, it was just like at the end of the day, like I can't deny that it was just like kind of a weird, disjointed show. And so I think that's just the big thing to note is that now Marvel, they're revamping the MCU. They're going to try to instill some more quality control. And now they've actually gone out and got a guy to showrun. I think that Nova will shoot a pilot, right? I think now you'll have your traditional series Bible and stuff like that. So I think all of that is very promising. Does this guy seem like the greatest showrunner of all time? Not necessarily. I mean, he's done like TV police procedurals. It seems to be like his thing. Which I wonder is if is that kind of what they're going to go with for Nova, where like Nova is going to be like a space cop show. I mean, it is kind of interesting because it might in some sense be kind of like the DC Green Lantern show, which they've described as True Detective, but with a couple of Green Lanterns. It'll also be interesting is and then it'll be interesting is like, will Nova take place in space? Because we've seen the Nova Corps. They are stationed in space. Because we know that the Lanterns show is not going to take place in space for the most part. It is going to be an Earth-based show, so it's interesting, right? I feel like there's room, obviously like room for comparison there, but there's also the possibility that these projects will end up feeling very unique from each other. But yeah, if you are a Nova fan, I encourage you to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited about this? Do you think that Nova is a project that should be like a show instead of a movie? Because I mean, if it's special effects heavy, Disney Plus doesn't have the best track record when it comes to handling visual effects. Maybe you feel like it should be a movie, like a big budgeted movie. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.